Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. Yes, this is me coming live. Let me plug in my camera instead of the printer. I've been busy, busy, busy. I had a great auction Thursday night. I'd like to thank all of you that attended that auction very much. I appreciate that. Let me get my camera plugged in here. Hey, Chew, welcome in, sweetheart. Good to see you. Now, let me plug this in. Why is that not doing that? I may have to use the laptop. Let's see if we can get that camera. Welcome in, sweetheart. I decided to come on, and where's my camera? Man, is that fuzzy? Let me see if I can find it's really fuzzy on the edges of it. Where is my camera? There's the camera. Hey, Douglas, welcome in, sweetie. I'm trying to figure out my camera here because it's extremely fuzzy on the edges. Let me see if I can't find that. Let's see. Oh, boy. Let's see here. Shoot, I should have had that plugged in. Where's the camera thing on this thing? Good to see you guys. Welcome on in. It's always good to see you guys. I'm fuzzy on the edges of this, and it could be because of the camera, and I'm looking for it, and I can't find it. Let's see here. It may have to be what it is. What can I say? So that's a little bit better. I decided to come on and thank everyone for being at that auction on Thursday night. Boy, did I sell a lot right back there. And I still have several more to go. But man, I tell you, I sold a lot of glass. Those packages back there, those will be going out. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video. I think I worked a good 5 hours on shipping because I ship glass. And when you ship glass, you just cannot throw it into a box and hope for the best. It takes preparation, and sometimes you learn a lot by shipping glass. You know that you can't ship a heavy item in with something light. So normally if I have a heavy item, I normally ship it separately, because if you ship that with other glass items. Hey, Brian, sweetheart, welcome. Oh, gosh, Brian, I have a weather report as well. We're going to get plastered here, and not the kind of plastered we're thinking. And there's Laura. Welcome in, sweetheart. In the midst of trying to figure out my camera, I miss Laura. Sorry about that, sweetheart. But when you ship something heavy, and if you have something lighter weight over here, and that weight shifts, guess what? Something's going to be broken for sure. So I do try to ship to the best of my ability. I'm not perfect. Perfection is truly on the other side. However, I have learned a tremendous amount. And there's 3 people that does the shipping: me, myself, and I. Because, guys, I'm very picky about what I do and how I present my shipping. I know, Laura, it's going to get really rough, especially those states to the north of us. They're going to get up to, I think it's going to start out with like rain, sleet, freezing rain, and we could have a power outage as well. Hey, Francine, welcome in, sweetie. Good to see you, sweetheart. And so, like I said, I cannot emphasize enough about that shipping, because I will not ship something heavy with other items. That's just how I do it. It seems to be more successful, and that way everyone's happy. Well, Brian knows. Brian, if I feel like that your item is heavy, then it will be shipped by itself. And I'm finding that, I don't know if you other resellers are finding this out, but most of your 1, 2, 3 pound packages, they're going for like $7.85 for shipping. We can't do anything about that. That is part of the government, and Lord help you if you try to attempt to address them. But I am finding larger, heavier package going through UPS. I had one that was almost 8 pounds and it shipped for $6.04. And I think that's fabulous, because if someone tried to take a package like that into a post office, it would be far more than that. And us as resellers, when we sell an item, not only are we giving the best deal, we're using our packing and everything like that. So, and then we give you fantastic shipping, because I do a lot of bag in a box, because let's face it, it's just cheaper that way to do that. So, man, I had one heck of a sale on Thursday, and I'm still working on it. Right back, see that back there? I'm still working on it, but you know what? I worked for 5 hours yesterday, and I would have did it again. Hey, Stephanie, sweetheart, because when I pack something, I have your items in mind and how they're going to get. Oh, Lord, Brian, sciatica. My husband has that, and it does affect your walking, or it does his. And I am particular, and no one offers to help, because I can be like a biting sow. If something's not right, hey, I'm just being truthful about it. I know how I like things done. I know how to ship things, and that's just me. I've always been that way, because I'm a perfectionist, and I'll be the first to admit it. However, we know perfection is definitely on the other side, but I always give it my all, and I can feel very confident that your packages are going to make it there. Have I made mistakes? Oh, yes. And here's a saying that you may have heard before, but bears repeating. Experience is a wonderful thing. It keeps you from making the same mistake twice. Let me get something to drink. I've already talked myself into being thirsty, but I take when I sell something, I take my shipping very seriously, because I'm doing that, for someone, and I want them to get their items in one piece. Now, if I had some broken things in the past, you bet I have. And then you get to the point where you're like, okay, you have to deliberate the post office's moves. Now, how hard is that? But, to keep everything kind of intact. And if it doesn't rattle, that means you're good. But sometimes that doesn't even help, and you have to go back to square one. So, what I'm here to talk about, we are getting, as well as Laura, a tremendous winter storm. It's going to start at noon Sunday and go into 7 p.m. on the next day, or a.m., excuse me, on the next day. There's going to be sleet, freezing rain. The northern counties that are further from us could get 1 foot of snow. It could cause power outages, and this is serious business. And Brian said it's coming at 4 p.m. on Sunday there. Hey guys, I'm glad I came in to check. Hello everyone. Gosh, Gina, you always look perfect. Thank you. Hey Brian, Francie, Miss Laura, and the rest of the chat. Hope everyone has a safe winter. I know, Minnie, it's going to get really interesting here in this northern region. And like I say, that right back there, and I'm not done yet. Minnie knows, because Minnie's one of them. those packages back there, and I'm not done yet. So, what was I saying? So, I am steadily working on it. You guys know anyone that I've ever shipped to knows how meticulous I am. Hey, Steph, welcome in, sweetie. Okay. And they know how meticulous I am, and I get really hot under the collar if something's not. That's why I do all the packing myself because, quite frankly, no one wants to be in my range if something's not packed right. So if I pack it wrong, I can blame myself, but you know what I'm talking about. But in the event there is a power outage, then the post office does run on technology, and if they're closed until everything gets back up, I can't drop your packages out. Thanks. It's not fun during these cold spells. We are supposed to get 29, 32, 39. We're not used to that. Oh my goodness. That's fine, Minnie. I knew what you meant, sweetie. Some people have to know what I mean because I might put something in there that's off the wall. And Brian said his driveway is long and ours is too. And there's a fence. There's a 240-foot privacy fence running between the driveways. But like I said, I hope we've got the generator, gas for the generator. We have a generator. So if the worst comes to worst, we have a pellet stove, and that at least we can stay warm during this event. And they upgraded it from a warning, a advisory, to a total warning. So I'm hoping that, like I said, if everything's shut down due to a power outage and your packages are delayed, that's why. Yes, Brian, thank you so much. And we'll keep you in our prayers, Brian, because that sciatica is no joke. My husband has that. And when you have sciatica, your legs don't work as nimble as they used to. And I know Brian had problems before with his walking and everything. I know I'm staying inside, cuddled up to two chihuahuas and a pellet stove, but just letting you guys know if there's a delay, and I'm working on your packages, I promise. Like I said, that right over there she blows. And as soon as I'm hoping that we don't get the power outage, because if we do that, the post office, we can't do that. But I will get those packages to you guys. I promise you. Some of them go through UPS, but you know me. Usually I don't like to hold anyone's package after payment because you paid for your package. And I'm going to do everything in my power to get that. I mean, the post office is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from me because I don't like to hold people's stuff. If they've paid for it, I like to get that. It's like a smooth, or it's like a well-oiled machine. We just out, in, out. But I just wanted to let you guys know what could be coming, and it could mean a power outages. The roads are going to be really bad. I did notice on the expressway. Oh, Minnie's a sweetheart. I love you, Minnie. I love all of you. You're my peeps. You're my rock. But like I said, until, let's keep our fingers crossed that we do not experience a power outage. That would be terrible. And any of you guys, have you ever heard the word thunder sleet or thunder snow? When you get that, you're in trouble. I mean, you are definitely in trouble. And I'll be in here just with a flashlight probably. But no, I like to go. I'm the type of person, I've always been this way. I like to go above and beyond because anything I've ever done, I've done that. I've always tried to be Johnny on the spot or Julie or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it is scary, man. We're going to get a lot of snow. Good thing that our dogs, we have puppy pads for them because they would get lost out there. Flashlight. Yeah, my husband's got this lantern that is battery operated, and we have a pellet stove. What a pellet stove is, read my post above, sweetie. FYI, post office is closed Thursday, January the 9th to observe the death of former President Carter. Okay, thanks, Laura. Laura had to knock on my head again. So, yeah, they're going to. Jimmy Carter was the longest living president at 100 years old, and he was probably one of the more honest and always tried to do the right thing. Brian, he's ready to ride the storm out. But he was, of course, he was only a one-term president, but 100 years old is really the life expectancy today. If you get to 100, you're flying, especially if you fool with certain doctors. They can cut your life expectancy a little shorter. Of course, we do need doctors. I got a doctor's appointment on Monday. How many people bet that I don't get to that? How many people bet that I have to reschedule that appointment? But I was out. I got some pool noodles for shipping. They're amazing to protect little delicate edges. And of course, you know why I was out. You know where I went. So the biggest part of the haul is out in my car, and I had bought some jewelry, and I thought, well, that's light enough. I'll just bring it up here and share it with you guys and stuff like that. I'm not, when you're a reseller, you never miss an opportunity. If you know that you're in an area where they have good stuff, and thank you guys for your purchases. I think you guys have proven the point there. So I did pick up some jewelry, but let me see if I can't find my little stand thing here. And town was busy, and there was people driving crazy and people getting on your nerves at the store. And I'm just glad that my daughter, she works at Walmart, and she said they wore her out, but everyone wants to get their milk, bread, and eggs and whatever, maybe some rock salt, snow shovel. But the roads on the expressway here are treated. So they're trying to get this road out here where I live, it's not treated. They try to treat the major thoroughfares so that they will be a little safer because you're going to have semis out there. And oh gosh, I'm glad that do not drive a semi. Not only would I be dangerous and it'd have to be an automatic, that would be scary for everyone else, that is, and me. Okay, guys. This necklace, whoops. This necklace is amazing. I don't know what. I think we've got some shell going on in here, and it's got a very large medallion on it, fresh off the press. This might be older because it does have a barrel closure. And Laura said, I know why she bought that, because it's pink, and you may have a good point. Just look at that, guys. Is that not amazing? And I do believe this may be dyed shell. Isn't that amazing? Then you have your little gold tone beads in between. Isn't that amazing? I don't know what that is, guys. I don't think it's a stone, but I believe these are shell that are braided together. And how beautiful is that? No, Brian, nothing does do good on ice. That's for sure because you can't get any traction. But I thought that was lovely. Isn't that beautiful? Kind of a think spring piece. That is beautiful. And it does have a special clasp on it. Look at that clasp. That is amazing. That's probably that could be Laura said, I have to say it. Please don't go out unless necessary. Many people fall on this ice and end up in the ER. That's true. I mean, you can. I remember one time and I went down to the Methodist church and there was like had been drizzle and it was frozen on the parking lot. Well, I go to get out. My feet fly up out from under me and I land on the most cushiony part, the rear end, thank goodness. My husband said, Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I said, I'm on the ground over here. But isn't that beautiful? And one time I was coming out of a like out of the where they sell gas at a a truck stop. I can't get on ice or I can be in trouble. Yeah, with sciatica, you could really end up hurting more things than what you thought. And sciatica is terrible. So, sciatica, my husband's sciatica is caused by arthritis, inflammation back there that pushes, thank you, that pushes up against that nerve. And I'll tell you what, it's not fun. I don't know what this is, but boy, isn't it beautiful. Oh, this one is a big, these are not real. If it was, I'd be in Tahiti right now. No, I'm kidding. I thought that this was very beautiful. If I can get it off of this thing here. Man, it's over there. This, I really, I think this is beautiful. It's not real pearls, but man, let's see. I'm fighting with a little plastic thing. Look at this. Isn't that gold tone? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's got, different colors of little faux pearls. You would think that that would be something like a Chico's. I didn't see anything on that, but isn't that beautiful? Nice and long, nice extender. I know I saw that and I said, oh, I love that. That, of course, ouch. But isn't that amazing? Very long. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strands. It is to die for. It's beautiful. Look at that. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, it's not worth getting out if you want to be prepared and have everything you need so you don't have to get out because I tell you what, it only takes one good fall, especially on an older person, to really result in a bad situation. So that's one of them. Then this is AB glass, a really pleasant blue color. AB glass. And there you have your AB glass, faceted. And I think these are, looks like some kind of stone. Like I said, this is fresh off the press. It is cold, but isn't that beautiful? These AB glass necklaces go for a pretty penny. Isn't that gorgeous? That's why if you can get your hands on some of it, it might behoove you to do so. Lord knows I have my share. Let's see, pair of earrings. And then I also got this pair of earrings thinking that I could have something that matches that. That kind of reminds me of J. Crew, but it's not. Isn't that pretty? All the sparkly. Then these are just costume. I found that one right there. That's glass. All the stones are there. And that's an adjustable ring. I found that one. Then I found this one. This one is not adjustable. It is not sterling, but it's costume. I thought it was pretty. See how it's set up there? It's made nicely. Or I thought it was. It's got hearts on the side of it. See how the hearts come down? Isn't that pretty? Stones. Those are probably glass. Kind of a menagerie of color. This ring right here, I just dug that out. That is the epitome of a vintage. This is an estate ring. You have citrine, blue topaz, and amethyst. I bought this years ago from this fella at a flea market. There's your side right there. It's got real beautiful marcasite on it. And the stones are quantum cut. That means where the cut goes down into the stone, and that's sterling. But see how the lines range down into the stone, and then of course they are inset by that sterling silver. But that is an estate piece right there. And I bought that so many years ago and I still had it. So, and that's all of the jewelry, but at least I come out with something, right? Usually it's the goodies are in the trunk. But that is so pretty. That's a statement piece if there ever was one. But I believe that is like a shell type. And it probably died, probably. Wouldn't that be nice to have found one Elise Sands necklace? Hey, Todd, welcome in. I can't even think. I guess I'm worried about the storm. Elise Sands piece where normally it's dark on the back. And then this is Mother of Pearl. I've had a couple Lion Lee Sands necklaces before. Welcome in, Todd. I think you were in, I think a couple evenings ago or a couple, I can't remember. It's a blur. But isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. Then we had glass and oh boy. Todd, how's the weather going to be in your neck of the woods? We're supposed to get a horrible, horrible storm. It's good to see you again in the chat. But no, I've been packing my brains out because I sold and I give all the credit to you guys because you're the ones that bought it. But like I say, and I'm sure you guys understand that concept that, if I'm going to sell you something, I'm going to try to make sure it gets to you in one piece, and that's why nobody but me handles the stuff. So, but no, we're supposed to have some major snow. Northern Georgia, it's cold, 34 now, and light snow expected midweek. Well, Todd, starting noon tomorrow, we're going to get rain, sleet, freezing rain, at least 4 to 5 inches of snow. Further north, I live in Indiana. Further north of me, they're getting a foot of snow. So that might make it very interesting for travel and stuff like that. Like Laura said, if you don't have to get out during this, do not do it. It's not worth it. Stay inside and ride the storm out. And there's the bracelet I got from Laura. This is the perfect bracelet to wear with a watch because that fits right into that right there. This I have not taken this off. And I had to take a bath, of course, but I've had this on the entire time and I absolutely love it. And there's your little safety latch. And Laura's magnets are strong. So let me do something here. See, that's our Laura. She's a sweetie. Yep, she sure does. Let me go this way. It's something that she usually does. She has some sterling. She has a lot of her. She sold some stainless steel, and she has, the silver plate, and if you take care of it, it's going to last you a long time. And she has added that safety feature to that. And let me turn that down before I blast everybody. And she has added that the safety latch to it. And let me see if I can't find that. Laura, do you want to drop your link in the chat? Because maybe Todd may have a significant other that I tried to, but it came up the wrong thing. But yeah, that is the perfect to wear with, a lot of people like to put bracelets with their watches. And that little pin, this is vintage right here. This is an oldie but a goodie. You may have seen your mother wear something like that, but yeah, it's made very well. The pattern on that is perfection. But she does a lot of things. She does wire wraps and puts gemstones on, genuine stones on it. She does a lot of everything. A lot of tea works, rings and easels and wind chimes and you name it. But you need to check her out because she's really, really talented. You're welcome, Laura. And if you guys like this type of things that, like I said, that goes with about anything. And I just kind of put the right there. And she does a lot of things. And in the exciting part, you never know what she's going to come up with next. But it's always good. She makes bookmarks out of usually vintage silverware that is silver plated. She does come across some really neat sterling silver pieces as well. It's just really fascinating to watch and to wait on what she comes up with next because you just never know. But you're very welcome, sweetie. You want to drop Brian's as well. Brian, how close are you to that 1K? Brian, he's another sweet person. He also has a channel. And I'm going to try to get him out of being so camera shy. So, yeah, Brian, he is so close to 3 more. Come on, guys. I know Minnie probably is. Brian needs 3 more, but you always need a padding. So anyone watching this video after the fact, subscribe to Brian Lloyd. He is really close to a milestone. I'm so happy for you, Brian. Good job. That's one thing about Brian. He still loves me, even though things come out of my mouth that he's like, "What?" And Laura said the bookmark idea was submitted by a customer, and I ran with it. Yes, Laura, I think someone else was an inspiration for her, where she takes the forks and makes the easel out of it. Yeah, that's one thing about Brian. He doesn't get upset with me because he knows if I think it, I'll probably say it. So, within reason, y'all, within reason. Easels, and it's just really interesting the things that, and she's always on the hunt for that silverware, for that next pattern, But yeah, she does a real good job. Laura, did you sell very many of those bracelets that you made out of the butter knives that Jason sent to you? Because I've got mine and it's really nice. She may have sold them out. That's one thing about Laura. If you like something, you better get it because man, it's a fight to the finish in the chat because sometimes she gets these one of a kind pieces of silverware, and when she puts it up there, and she's been having buy it now sales. Yeah, yeah, and Laura did utilize every piece from Jason, and I'm sure they were popular. I was the lucky recipient to get one of those, and very, very pretty. And it's just interesting to see Laura in her quest. I don't know how she finds these unique patterns, but some of them are just. I got that Red Riding Hood ring too. I got that one that I was wanting, and the I think the goddess one, and I really wanted that. And I should have been wearing my earrings that match that because I do have earrings that match it. And I should have been wearing them. They're about yay long. You guys are probably like, she walks into her bedroom, looks through the jewelry, and her mind probably goes blank. It does sometimes. My analogy is if you got it, wear it. You only live once and you might as well do it all decked out, right? And she goes for the super unique or super old pieces. Yeah, I like those old pieces, and it's almost like a trip back in the past, and you look at that, and it's from some of the fine things she finds are true antiques, and that's amazing right there. It really is that she finds, and it's so fun. It's about the hunt sometimes I'm sure that she does. Laura, what's your main source for looking for your flatware and stuff like that? Probably different ones, probably online things. eBay. Okay. I tell you, if it's not on eBay, you probably don't need it, probably. So, and Laura, she probably has a favorite seller, and she probably sets her notifications so when that person comes out with something new that she knows about it and gets to it first. So, but Laura, how many years have you been doing the jewelry? And of course, I know you have to have special things to do it with, but Laura said, laugh out loud. Gia knows me. I throw elbows. Yeah, get out of the way. And Minnie says, OMG, I had no idea, Laura. Expect to see me on your channel. Amazing. And there, Laura probably got another subscriber. Hello, Austin. Welcome in. 32 years this month. Austin, are you subscribed to Brian or Laura? If not, subscribe. Because Brian is 3 away from 1K. And we all know that that don't happen overnight. I would love to have you, Minnie. Thank you, Minnie Guns. Yeah, Minnie, she'll come right in there. And here I am hustling, get those subs. Yeah, Brian is what, 3 away. And don't they quit taking them away from you when you get 600? I'm thinking that's true. I don't know, but he's awfully close. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate that. Austin's on it. He went right to it. And many did. Oh my goodness, Brian, you may be having a big celebratory 1,000 subs, and I already am, or we're going to have to shake the bushes there. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is nerve wracking. Just one more. I know someone that watches this after the fact, and I know people watch it. Sub to Brian Lloyd. He is 1 away from that goal. You're very welcome, Brian. And Laura as well. Designs Laura. We need to get in Austin. I don't know. So, hey, Dawn, welcome in, sweetheart. Good to see you. We was talking about Dawn is probably going to get some weather. Hey, Dawn, there's a young man in the chat called Brian Lloyd. He needs 1 subscriber for 1K. Would you do a girl a favor and do that for me? We're just discussing things about, the weather. And thank you, Dawn. No, it's not hard to believe, Brian. When I get on your side and push your channel, you're going somewhere. Just saying, I'm very convincing when I want to be. Great, Todd. Great. Are we getting ready to throw the confetti? I don't have any up here. I had some fake snow, but then I'd have to clean it up. Hey, Marzita, welcome in, sweetie. Good to see you. And we were talking about looking at check this out, Dawn. Isn't that amazing? I love that. That's what it's all about, guys. Help somebody. It's so important to be helpful because we're all in this together. And help somebody out. Dawn has a channel, don't forget. And she sells some amazing stuff. Laura, would you drop Dawn's channel? I think Dawn is doing pretty well too. And I believe by blessing someone else, we are blessed in return. We're not doing it for that reason, but that's the way it happens. If you take the time, if you support somebody and you love them, then you're going to do whatever it takes. Hey, Dawn, check that out. And thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. Isn't that amazing? I know I saw that hanging there. For one thing, it got my attention because it was pink. And this is a Dawn special that I bought from her channel, and I absolutely love it. I get lots of compliments. And Dawn, she sells a variety of things, clothing, knickknacks, paddywhacks, and jewelry. And she has a very uplifting channel. Everyone that comes in, yay, Brian, yay. I'll do the confetti that I don't have to clean up. Let's see here. Where's that? Where is that at? We are so happy for you, Brian. 1K. Hey, who said that dreams do not come true? Because they do. And why can I find that emoji? When in doubt, grab the phone and do it this way. I'm quicker on the phone. I really stink when it comes to yay. 1K. All righty then. Let me put that. Whoops. There we go. Awesome. And Dawn has a very, oh, why is my emojis not, did they go in there and I didn't see it? I probably got so darned excited, I've no telling what I done, guys. This is a very momentous occasion, something to be proud of, something that has been hoped for. There now. Aha. Dawn, you're next. I think Dawn is right there at that 900 mark. Yay, how do I get rid of this? So that we should all support one another. That's what it's about. Be glad with the people and rejoice, because that is an accomplishment. And Brian, I don't think they can take any more away from you. You know what YouTube does. They want to stripe your legs for no reason. And Austin is getting 900 subs. Oh no, we don't want no foot. Only foot I want is on the end of my leg. No, I'm kidding. They're gonna get a foot in the north, guys. That's what we're here for, to support one another, and that's what it's about. Sometimes YouTube can be a very long road, but when you're traveling that road with friends, it makes it a lot better. And hey, we all have goals. And Brian, didn't I tell you in an email that this is going to be your year and you're going to get those 1K subs? He said, listen to her. And I knew it. And I had to make it, I would have did it, but I had to make it happen because, females always want to be right. Right, Dawn and Laura and Manny and all those females. Yeah. Yeah, being supportive to other channels. And there's a lot of good channels out there. And you don't have to be Mr. or Miss Popularity to get subscriptions. Just be yourself. Me, I don't suck up to somebody because they have a lot of subscribers. I don't do that. I go on my merit, not anyone else's, because if I work for something, then I want it, but at least I can say that I work for it. And Dawn knows about that hustle. The hustle is definitely real, but you just keep going, and you might get knocked down a few times and say, oh my God, why am I doing this? And then you hit that magical number and you say, hey, I might have got slapped around, but I'm at 1K. So there you go. But no, as a rule, people are pretty nice, and you don't have to associate yourself with, I tell you, God does not run a popularity contest, and he works with the least of us. And you don't have to be, yay, Brian. You don't, hey, you know, you can do this yourself. There are millions and millions of people on YouTube. You don't need to kiss anybody's rear end. You don't need anybody's help because you're going to do it. And you know you will. She's pointing again. Look at her. So you just keep being you, and, you know, anything's possible. You just have to do it. Yeah, Brian does like to edit stuff, and he's getting really good at it. So Brian is at over 1K. I'm so happy for you, Brian. I knew it was coming. I knew it. I could tell. See, guys, that's how God works. He puts people in the right places at the right time when it's meant to be. So me coming on here and being windy, so to speak, no problem, Brian. I know you do, and I'm so happy. You know, I'm talking about everything happens for a reason, and it just kind of flows through, you know. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in God, though. I really do. And I think that sometimes through our journey that we learn things, and those lessons we learn are irreplaceable. And if something don't work, get rid of it and try something else. You know, it's never ever get discouraged on your journey, because there's always, you know, sometimes YouTube is like scaling a mountaintop, and you get halfway up there and you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. Yes, you can. You can do it. You know, you just keep, if something don't work, forget about it. Don't feel bad about it. The worst thing that if you don't do it, then you can feel bad about that. But at least you put your effort in that. And if the formula don't work, redo it. You know, it's just that simple. You know, there's always, and there's good people out there willing to help you along your journey and be, you know, part of, you know, for this new year, keep, you know, set a goal, work toward it. You're not going to do it overnight. You know, it doesn't happen that way, but do it. You will never know your full capability unless you do it. And a lot of times I find that so many people are thinking, well, I wonder what so-and-so is going to think. So what? Who cares? They are not your keeper. You do what you want to. And as long as it's right, there's no problem with it. Do not let anybody stop you. And I'm hard-headed. I've had to be to survive. But anyway, you know, I think that when people go through things, they learn lessons. And you just got to keep climbing. Tomorrow's another day. If it don't work, if something don't work for you, go to plan B. Right. Dawn said, always be true to yourself and people will come. And that's so true. You know, be your best authentic self. And like the phrase Dawn uses, I may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I might be someone's shot of whiskey. And that's just a paraphrase. And I understand, you know, y'all get what she means by that. Minnie's having to reset on and off channel, gets blurry, gets frozen. Oh, dear me. On my last auction, I had a lot of freezing and glitching and twitching, and it could be because there's a wicked weather advisory coming in, and it's, Dawn, I hope you don't get snowed in, sweetie, because I'm thinking that you may get something that Yeah, it looks like it's fuzzy on the corners here, and I thought it was my camera. So, but yeah, we've got our generator ready, and so get your generators ready if you have one. Get your flashlights because, guys, that's going to be cold, and we have a pellet stove that runs on electricity. It burns these little bitty tiny little compressed sawdust pellets, and it puts out the heat. So if something goes out here, we can have it outside and run the cord indoors so that we won't be sitting here chattering. We've been getting snow all week. Hopefully, it doesn't get too bad. I tell you, they're here in Indiana. They're telling us that the further northern regions could really get slammed. Not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to. But you never know. The weather is funny. It might be one thing in one place, one thing in another. That's okay. Yeah, me too. I'm staying in, and Lord knows we have enough to do. I'm a little south of the storm. Oh, yeah, don't get out there. That ice is no joke, and I'm telling you. I'll tell you, I have this thing about. I remember it was during the fall one year, and went to Bunko with a friend. So she parks there on the side of the road across from the house, and so more. Oh no, Brian. Brian, do you have a heat source if your power goes out? I hope so, hon. But anyway, so we're getting out and it's fall and there's leaves everywhere. So what do? I get out and I didn't know it was there. And there was a bunch of leaves and I went down in those leaves. And she goes, "Where'd you go?" Was over there laughing about it because I didn't get hurt. And I had went down in that ditch in those leaves and I was laughing. She goes, "Where'd you go?" Must be a thing, huh? Good, Brian. Yeah, that's true. You fall on ice and hit your elbow, your head, your knee, or twist your ankle or something like that. But, we had some beautiful December weather here. I mean, I knew it was coming, I knew we was going to pay for it. And someone was saying, I think at the mustard seed, that the almanac is going to be a snowy winter. So we might as well buckle up and get ready for it. My father-in-law often said that snow puts nitrogen in the ground and it's good for the ground, but it's hazardous on the road, you know. He's got a kerosene heater. Brian, make sure there's not. He's like, "You not my mom," but make sure there's not anything around it and you've got good, ventilation. That's good, Brian. That's really good. A lot of people have wood stoves, and every time I go into a house with a wood stove, I end up asleep on their couch. Yeah, that's a nice warm one. But there's just something about uh, a wood stove, hearing the wood crackle. It's so warm, and I end up stretched out asleep every time. But he said he used it when we get power outage. Yeah, that's good because not only is it going to be snowy and icy, it's going to be cold, terribly cold. I think my daughter said Salem, Indiana, which is probably about 20 miles from Scottsburg. She said they had to call the police because people was going nuts because they were going to get bad weather. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. Just ride the storm out and hope that everybody stays in and stuff like that, you know. Ooh, 30 and teens at night here for 4 days. You know, there was times where would take Shannon to work because she just didn't want to drive on. I mean, it wasn't. Sometimes those get off ramps and get on ramps can be awfully icy. So I've taken her to work at times, and you know, for those people that work at Walmart that live out in the country, they can forget it. Somebody coming in because it's not worth hurting yourself, getting your car tore up. It's not worth it. Walmart will survive. I think Shannon, does she work Monday or she might be off? But, you know, Brian's ready. He also hooked up propane gas. Brian, he seems like he's very, what's that word I'm looking for? He's very, he knows how to survive, you know, if need be. So, yeah, you got to stay warm, you know. You might be in the dark, but at least you'll have heat, right? Well, flashlights and different lighting sources and everything, because it's going to get crazy. We haven't had a snowstorm. Remember that snowstorm in 1976? I mean, I can remember we lived, and I was a kid, and the snow was halfway up the door. We couldn't even get the door open. No, don't want to freeze. No, I can remember that 76 storm in Indiana. Man, I've never seen so much snow come down in such a short period of time. But, well, we ought to know that winter time means snow, and we might as well accept it because we can't change it, you know. We just got to ride that storm out and hope for the best. I've got a cockatiel, and I had to stop in and get him some food. He was like at half a pan, and I don't know how bad it's going to be and how long it's going to be nasty. Yeah, me too, Brian. I really do pray that because, man, there's nothing like being cold, you know. Then a lot of these homeless people that are out there, especially in the state of Kentucky, they're making sure that there are available beds for them because that would be, no one wants to be out in weather like that. And it's terrible that we have homeless people, but you know, we do. And of course, I live in Indiana. Kentucky's 25 miles across the bridge. So it's sad that, and some people, it's a way of life. They're homeless and that's the only thing they know. But that's why they try to get these people off the street and into shelters. I always get my cats food in advance too. Want to make sure they have it in case we're snowed in. I know we don't know. At this point, anything could happen, you know. Hope for the best, you know, expect the worst and hope for the best, you know. That way you're ready. I'm a cockatiel. I had to made sure he had his food and his water, and he's down there, and I have the window open where he can look out his cage and see outside for entertainment. I remember I had a black cat where Simon passed away a 3 years ago. And when I first got the bird, yeah, more bottled water, I go into the dining room and here is this cat with both of his legs around that cage and it going like that. And I thought, oh my God, you know. Well, the bird was kind of shocked, but we got everything cleaned up. Oh, yeah, bottled water and toilet paper. That's what this one guy said on the news. People don't think about this, but toilet paper, is another one. And then we've got all this, you've got that art, that stuff going around, going around that affects you have diarrhea and vomiting to the point where, hey, Lucy, welcome in. Good to see you, sweetie. We're talking about snow and the bad weather coming and shipping delays and stuff like that. But hopefully there's no power outage, but we just don't know. We just kind of hunker down and take it a day at a time. But yeah, we keep watching the news quite a bit. Yeah, there's a bad one going around. Oh yeah, Lucy, it makes you so sick because of the throwing up that your stomach has spasms because you have nothing in your stomach and yet it goes on and it's terrible. I had a friend of mine's son was in the she had to take him to the ER and they immediately put him on fluids because it just depletes everything. First thing I heard right when I came in, upset stomach, diarrhea. Well, we all know that, and they say to keep your hands and everything clean. Yeah, you get dehydrated and you really get in trouble. Hey, Lucy, Brian is over that 1K mark. Let's say, yay! Give it up for Brian. Congratulations. Yay! But yeah, yep, he's he made it. So yeah, it's you want to the most thing that causes is through touching stuff and putting it around your face. You got to keep those hands clean. While you could get it off of a door handle at a store, off of an item in the store, you just never know. The potential for that is out there. So, you know, it really is. You just got to be. Speaking of going to the restroom, I was in the Dollar Tree and I had to go so bad. And they used to have a public restroom. I think they changed it. And he had mercy on me. He goes, get soap all over the place. Yeah, I got soap all over the place. Yeah. And I had to go so bad. And he goes, well, go back there, way to the end there, and lift up that box and the key to the restrooms there. Well, me, I tried to open the wrong door. I'm like, and my eyes were, I mean, I really had to go. And I said, is there a secret to making this key work? He goes, it's for the second door. So I thought, thank God. I said, I got to go and I have to go out in the cold and it's going to be a terrible. You would know, it says door number 1 or door number 2. Well, if you got the key for door number 2 and you're trying to get in 1, you're not going to make it. So anyway, I got my pool noodles because I use them for shipping. It really pads the corners of real delicate things, and I'll take the dickens out of it. And man, you got to almost make a sphere out of pool noodles to keep things from getting shanged. Hey, Matthew, welcome in. Hello, I'm Matthew. Lucy shared this out and found this on my YouTube list. Oh, great, Matthew, and welcome in, sweetie. Good to see you, and thank you, Lucy, for that. I appreciate that. Good. Very nice to see you, Matthew. Thank you so much. But Matthew, are you going to get some snow in your area tomorrow? So I have the gift for Gab, just saying. I had years ago, I know people like to be called by what their name is. And I had a manager years ago, and I would call him Matthew. He goes, I want to be called Matt. I said, okay, Matthew. There's just certain things that you can't get away from. Yeah, on Monday I have this NOAA radio on I'm waiting for a winter storm's coming warning. Oh, yeah. It's really bad, and it's good to see you. Great. We always welcome those regulars in and the new people as well. And thank you so much for being here. But I can already feel it getting colder outside. That or my heater needs to be turned up. Hey, Liv, welcome in, sweetheart. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Don't forget that thumbs up. And another factor is make sure you comment after the video, because that goes a long way. See, I look so pretty because I'm wearing one of Dawn's blouses that I bought from her. That's what makes the look, right? You got to have that look, right? I am autistic, so please be fun with me. Okay, Matthew, I can be Matthew. I worked with a young man that had Williams syndrome for 4 years, and I'm really good with that. Just saying. Thank you. Yes, I like people to be comfortable here and feel like that they're welcome. That is the most important thing. People in anything, any kind of anything you do, they want to feel welcomed and be a part of something. And don't worry, Matthew, because I worked with people that, and gosh, was this little guy, he was the same age as my daughter, and I had him spoiled rotten. He was more like my son than it's like, I don't know, he was the same age as my daughter, and he just loved me. And I loved him right back, but it was his mother that had the problem. Thank you, Dawn. I just love it. It just has that. And it's, it fits like it should. I know, Matthew, it's going to, I can feel the code coming. But, yeah, everyone's welcome. I don't care what your intellect is. It doesn't matter. You know what? You are a person, an individual, and everyone gets respect here. And I will not allow disrespect neither. I do go live sometimes too. Okay, Matthew. Let me... Laura, do you want to drop Matthew's link for me, please? Let's see here. Why am I not able? The weather's being wicked on me. But yes, I think everyone should be supported. It doesn't matter what because God made this. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. God made this world with all kinds of different people, and he didn't put us on here to judge one another. He put us on here to be, every one of us are equal. There's not one of us better than the next. Virginia Beach, Florida. Oh, wow. I don't judge people because I'm not the judge. So, and that's one thing that's been in my favor. I connect with people and they seem to be very comfortable around me, which I'm glad that they are, because that's the way it should be. It really should be. And none of us are, you know, and I'm looking forward to seeing you, Matthew, in the chat. It's so good to have you here. Right, new on YouTube. YouTube Don's channel when everyone's birthday. Yep. I got a birthday bear around here somewhere that sings, and what I do with it, I'll find it eventually. I'll be visiting then, moving in with my boyfriend in Virginia. Oh, wow. So Lucy, where do you currently live? You seem super nice. Looks like you'd be the best grandma. Well, I could be, Matthew. I'm old enough to be a grandmother. My daughter, she doesn't have any children, so, and I do try, and if I'm nice, this, what you see is what you get. My personality is 100% authentic. There's nothing ostentatious about me because I'm just me, and I like to communicate with other people. And hey, Bass Falls, welcome in, sweetie. You're new to the chat. Welcome in. Good to see you. So, Minnesota. You know what they call Minnesota? Minnesota, because they get a lot of snow. But south of Richmond in Virginia. New sub. Well, thank you, boss. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate you. It's always good having those new ones in the chat as well as the regular ones. How did you find my channel, boss? Did you just were you surfing through YouTube, or I'm just curious. Yes, Red December is my bestie. See, and Matthew says, hey, Brian, do you know the short pump mill in Richmond? I'm going to head out to get some work done, but it was lovely meeting you all. I so hope we'll be able to chat more another time. Thank you, Liv, and I'm sure we will. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So we will catch you the next time. Okay, I find your channel and Lucy's posting. Okay. Here's another thing. When you share somebody's channel or someone's activity, that goes a long way, because you can outreach so far, but if you are shared out, you have a far better outreach, and it means a lot. You never underestimate the power of sharing. 27. Well, you're a youngin', Matthew. I wish I was 27 and knew what I know now. What was I doing when I was 27? Okay, my daughter was probably a couple years old. Okay, I found your channel at the top of my lead, by the way. Good, I'm glad. glad you found me, and I'm glad that you feel comfortable here and everything like that. And Brian said, wish I was 27 also. That's why we get one shot at it. You know, we all get older. That's part of life. And, you know, people say, well, I didn't know when I got older I was going to have all these aches and pains. It just comes with being older. Brian, Minnie said she would be happy with 50. But, you know, it's a privilege to be able to get to that, to the age that we are. And I'm 60. So I'll be 61 February the 8th, which, you know, those birthdays come around too fast. You know it? It's like yesterday, you're 21, you wake up and boom, there you are. But yeah, another year older. I'm wondering where the time went. You know, it's and Matthews is September the 15th. I'll be 28. I know it just goes so fast. It's like my oldest sister always told me, she goes, if you think time goes fast now, wait till you get older. And I'm totally seeing what she means. 21, 30, 40, then. Oh, yeah. Well, guys, we're all the age that we're supposed to be, and God granted us to live this long and stuff. So I guess in a lot of ways we're blessed. You know, some of us may have ailments, but you know, we're still here. And you know, bye for now. I have a also live later to celebrate my birthday. If you guys come hang out with me, I much appreciate it. Okay, boss, let me see here. I've been slacking here. Let's see. Too many notifications. I will make sure that I subscribe to you, sweetie. I believe I read somewhere where the earth is turning faster. That's very well possible, Minnie. I'll come hang. Sure, I need a break from playing online games on Facebook. I like to play games on the phone. I like Candy Crush, the Block Blast. Oh, what's that one? Well, whatever. I like that Mahjong too. Thank you, Laura. I think sometimes games, as we get older, stimulate our minds. You know. Let's see here. We got Boss here, subscribe to. But I'm really excited for this year, you guys. We get a new opportunity to be, you know, we're alive. We may have aches and pains, but hey, as long as we're not a pain in each other's rear end, you know. And Dawn says, I play a couple of games on my phone. Do you guys think 225 is a hot summer? I don't know, Matthew. It's the weather's kind of wild. I'll be in Virginia Beach. Oh, wow. And happy birthday, boss. Boss, was it your birthday? Did you turn 29 again? I'm teasing you. Boss, I tease a lot. And when I tease you, it's because I like you, right, Brian? Not that I don't like everyone out there, but I tend to tease some more than others. And thank you, boss, and you have a good rest of your day. But yeah, we get to a certain age and we get some gray hair. Of course, Shannon said that mine will never be noticed because I will color over it. I said, no, my hairdresser will. Right? But yeah, we just need to buckle down because, oh, Boss Minnie is a sweetheart. Can we go back to 2021? I don't know, Brian. Brian. I was looking at Brian and said I don't know, Matthew. It seems like, I think life is like this. I think that as we get older, we learn more, we become more um, in tuned with everything. And 2021, that would take a few years off this old gal. Hairdressers don't talk. That's right. Hairdresser will not say. He tells me I got a few, and there he goes. Well, that's just where someone was painting, and you got underneath the thing. No, they won't tell. Yeah, wiser and still learning. That's true. You get wiser to things by living your life, and you reach that age. And Matthew says he'd rather go back to 2012. Was there something specifically special about that year for you, Matthew? Sometime in the spring, but if you happen to live there, of course I would like to visit you. See all the connections that you can make from one platform. A lot of times people don't live far from one another, and we do get boss, I done got you. I think she dropped you way up there, but we'll do it again for you. Yes, I was on stage dancing in school. Wow. What song was you dancing to, Matthew? There's some people can really cut a rug, so to speak. That is how me and Red know each other. We have met a number of times. Oh, wow. Christmas song called Let It Snow. No one wants to see me dance. Well, why not, Matthew? You know what? We may not be, none of us are perfect. And if you want to dance, do it. What's that song by David Bowie? You can dance if you want to. Like they say, dance like nobody's watching. Hey, Zeus, welcome in, sweetie. If you want to dance, do it. We're talking about all kind of things. Bye for now. Need to go breakfast and shower. See you later. Boz, you must be somewhere maybe in a different where are you from, boss, before you go? Yes, Matthew, do it. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. As long as you're doing something and it's not illegal, then you should be fine, you know. Because, that's how people get to know you. They know don't change your way of wanting to do something that makes you happy for anybody. Don't do it. Life is too short to spend it worrying about what somebody thinks. So what? Just do what makes you happy. If dancing makes you happy, then dance, dance, dance. Nothing wrong with that. It's not, at least it's something that you like to do, and don't sacrifice what you love to do because of maybe there we go, always say don't people need to worry about themselves because you know well, I used to live in San Diego, but I moved out and then I lost my girlfriend over there. I was cheated on. Oh, sorry about that, Matthew. But not all women are like that. Sometimes, uh, and from what I understand, Matthew, she must have been young. And usually, when you're young, you can be foolish. And sometimes you could be older and be foolish, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Well, Matthew, the only thing you can do is just kind of learn that lesson and move on. And that's not us females outnumber you guys 3-1. So I know there's a female out there for you. There's much more females than there are males. But don't get discouraged. In other words, you have to kiss a lot of, well, that's for the females. Sometimes you have to. We don't really know how people are until we know them. And then once I know it hurts your feelings, but sometimes you just have to. Well, had no choice. I told her what was going on, but it was whatever now. So sorry, Matthew. I'm 32 and would never do such a thing to my boyfriend. I only have eyes for one man and one man only, which is good. And this is true of men as well as women. Now, there's some players out there. We know that. And I don't think people should, that really hurts people. You shouldn't, if you're with somebody and you're not interested and it's not going right, just say, hey, but don't antagonize the situation by adding a third party in there. And sometimes people will fight. It's not worth, if it's not working out, just tell them, say, hey, this is not working out. Do that first before doing that, because it just makes for a lot better situation. Matthew said, well, at least I got support for that. Yeah, because Matthew, you will meet many females in your lifetime, and it goes both ways. Hey, Black Widow. Did you miss anything important? I had some jewelry, not a lot, but I was talking about the weather and what's coming and how it may affect shipping. Because if we have a power outage, ain't nobody, we can't do it. So, and that's coming in. But I thought I didn't show y'all this necklace. I got so into jaw rattling, I set it off to the side and forgot. Then I also got this one. I'm not for sure if that's, let me bang it a little bit here. I'm not sure if that's acrylic, but it sure is pretty, and it does mimic something right there with little silver tone little beads on it. Let's see. All right, Don, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Look at this, Black Widow. We're styling and profiling with these faux pearls. Mercy. Look at this reminds me of a Chico's, but it's not, unless it was in the. Check out that beauty. Let me get it to lay right. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, if that ain't beautiful, your different color faux pearls in that. How many strands we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is definitely a turtleneck necklace. Isn't that beautiful? Just gorgeous. And it's got an extender. Why, I don't know, but I guess you could wear it longer if you wanted to. I thought that was beautiful. Yeah, I do, Laura. I may have to bring it in the house. Let me see. I found the most beautiful Mikasha piece. It's about yay big. And it's pink. Thank you, Black Widow. Brian said, I think I left the chicken feed in the car at the dealership. Oh no, when I changed over to the other car, do you have chicken feed for him? That's true. I'll probably have to, because it's in a big box I found. You guys remember those water glasses that I had up for, I think, who bought those? Amy? But I found the smaller version of those as well, the same pattern. I found 6. Black Widow, behave yourself. There will be no wine until there's time. I don't know, Black Widow. Black Widow gets excited. Brian says, oh, I just love her. She just says anything she wants to within reason, a 5-gallon bucket. Because it's still in the car. I haven't got it out yet. You have to wait because I could do a showing on that. Black Widow, when she wants something, she wants it. But kind of like me in a way. Oh, the necklace, this one, that one. Which one, sweetie? That one or the pink one? Or, because I think that might be shell. That is amazing. I don't know what's that sound like? Boy, if that had a black back on it, was Lee Sands, we'd have a killer. Were there ever any leak? Did you have the heat on? Would I have it on 88? My husband would have a heart attack for the. No, I'm kidding. No, we only have our heat on about, the highest is about 70. Then we have a backup. We have a pellet stove. That is gorgeous. I wonder, most Lee Sands pieces were signed. I've even made a picture of it. 88's a little hot. Let me make a picture. I've had a couple Lee Sands. Yeah, we have a pellet stove as well that we use. Let me make a picture of this, guys. Let's see. So that's kind of like our house. We have those tall ceilings, not up here. We have tall ceilings. Let's see here. We might have something magnificent I might have missed. Minnie's is at 74 because some people are a little more cold natured than others. But unless you want to hide someone's chickens are happy. Most definitely, Brian. Let's see here. Oh. Don't you just hate it when you try to Google something and it comes up with everything but what you're looking for? I think that's resin. 1980s vintage large. That's not even what this is. This is much prettier than that one. I'm not seeing any thing remotely like it. Are these results helpful? No, they were not because they didn't. And the Black Widow stays at 68. There's a heater behind me, one of them little space heaters, and oh, does it feel good because it's getting cold. But, and we know heating cost, and his is on 72. Who's got their heat on at 80 something degrees? Because heating costs, everything these days is higher. Stamps are 70 cents a piece. 70 cents. Like I said, something that I noticed on shipping was it seems like the 1, 2 and so is all the same price. It's cheaper to send a heavier box than it is a lighter one. Why is that? Does it take up too much space? But I find that it's been cheaper on the heavier boxes than it is now. Some of them go through UPS. Black Widow, are you in a state where the weather's going to get bad? Air conditioning on 55. I don't know if I ever had mine on 55. What we do is we have the central air on, and then we'll have fans blowing in different areas. When I go to bed in the summer, there's always a fan blowing. But yeah, we're supposed to get some horrible weather here. I'm in Tennessee. Not too bad. Yeah, your Black Widow may be a little bit out of the danger zone because she's more southern. Oh, we're only supposed to get rain, sleet, freezing rain, and snow. We haven't had a good snow here in a long time. I remember I worked, it's been years ago, the snow was up to the back of my car bumper, and I was going to work, and I didn't even think about it. And my husband said, "Where do you think you're going?" He goes, "Well, you can't get out of here because the snow is up to your bumper." I didn't have time for no shoveling, so I said, "Sorry, folks, can't come in today. I'm snowed in." So, yeah. Well, we have to. Oh, excuse me. You can tell I'm getting warm. We just have to hope that it passes fast and hope our power don't go out, and we just can't. The power of positive thinking, right? You can still think positive and get a snowstorm, too. Like I said, we haven't had a bad snow here in a long time. But so, like I said, I have to keep working on shipping. So that's what I'll be doing, and hopefully our post office will be open so I can ship all that. Just stacked her right up. So, but yeah, a lot of times I like to wrap things ahead of time, and then I judge by how big the wrapping is on what box it goes into, and I stuff the daylights out of it. Oh, fun. I'm multitasking, sorting jewelry. Oh, that is fun, fun, fun. There's nothing like the thrill of a nice treasure hunt. So, yeah. Black Widow, she sells glass too. It's always interesting when you're selling glass. You got to really be careful on that. Your jewelry is the lightest and the most practical, but then, you have to think outside that box sometimes. And so I may have to put that, pull a, take a little red wagon and put all that in there and haul it into the post office. Usually my husband, he drops that stuff out a lot, but man, there'd be a lot going out. Man, I'm working it. I worked for 5 hours yesterday on that stuff, and that wasn't too bad. You figure I still have to wrap them in the. You know how I do? I do wrap it in your garbage bag. It may not be. It's cheaper than buying a roll of that stuff because it's a roll of that plastic. Like that black up there is kind of pricey. I just put it in a bag and be it whatever size it is, black or white, and just roll on with it. I'm telling you, Brian, I once I make my mind up to do something, look out. But yeah, I've been I'm a big planner when it comes to doing this shipping. Be a lot of, it'll take two of us to get it to the post office if it's open. So I'm hoping we're not going to be closed. And the stores get all crazy and people drive like they're on fire and just it's crazy. I asked this guy one time, I said, why do people drive so fast on the snow? And he said, well, maybe they want to get there faster. I said, how about getting there alive? I mean, you want to exercise. I've driven on snow before. It's not fun, but a little bit of common sense. We don't want no 50-car pile up. I'm getting her done. But darn post office closes so early on Saturday. Yeah, that's true, Brian. It's getting used to writing that 2025. Yeah. You get ready to write 20. Oh no, not 4, but 5. Yeah, I know what you mean. That can get very when you get in that mode for a year and then it changes, it totally you get confused and by accident. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be going to my appointment or not. I have a doctor's appointment, just a checkup, guys. I'm as spry as I ever was until I wake up in the morning. I'm like, oh, my back. No, I'm kidding. Got to check the calendar. Yeah, you got to get your checkups, guys, because if something's, if you got something going on, they need to know about it. And plus, if you don't, they'll kick you to the curb. They'll say, well, you haven't been here and so, and like, cut me some slack, But no, it is a good idea to see your physician when you're supposed to. And I know it's really high to go to the doctor today, even just for a checkup, but it pays off in the long run, guys. It really does. Well, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for being here. Congratulations, Brian, on your 1K. Yay. Glad to see everyone. We see the regular faces. We've seen some new people in, and that really makes my day. Not that you guys don't, but you know what I'm talking about. That means that you're branching out. You're going to new horizons, So I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a blessing to me. I hope I've been a blessing to you in between all my talking. So until next time, see you guys later. Love you guys. Have a great afternoon. Bye bye. Thank you.